The Logos principle, according to Jung, represents one of 5 fundamental states of being. It defines how we approach decisions, what we value, and how we think. This principle is closely tied to rationality and consciousness. The Logos can be seen as a force in the world, a force that shapes how we make decisions and embodies specific values. Historically, the Logos was conveyed through gods. A prominent example is the Greek god Apollo, who symbolized rationality and order. Today, the Logos is expressed through popular literature, movies, and other cultural representations. For example, in Harry Potter, the House Ravenclaw symbolizes the Logos, valuing logic and intellect. Or in Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Air Nation reflects the principles of the Logos through its emphasis on clarity and detachment. Or characters like Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones or Spock from Star Trek also embody the Logos. Spock's entire Vulcan civilization is a striking representation of this principle. In the past centuries, the Logos principle has become increasingly relevant. Today, it is by far the most relevant and dominant principle in the Western world. And surprisingly, the Logos principle was particularly facilitated and promoted through Christianity, a religion many would associate with spirituality. If we look closer, Christianity, especially as practiced in the Catholic Church, is deeply rooted in the Logos. For example, the Bible states, "In the beginning was the Word of God." If you examine the original language, the word "word" translates to Logos. This could be understood as, in the beginning was the Logos of God, and even Christ himself, referred to as the Word made flesh, symbolizes the Logos taking a tangible form. The influence of the Logos is also evident in the Catholic Church's structured organization. The Bible is interpreted, classified into dogmas, and meticulously organized. Additionally, practices like the celibate for priests, who are not allowed to marry and have sexual relations, reflect a focus on the rationality and detachment from physicality, and an emphasis on the mind over the emotions. Interestingly, Christianity's promotion of the Logos played a significant role in paving the way for the Age of Enlightenment and the rise of science. While Christianity and science have often been at odds, they share the same foundational principle, the Logos. In many ways, science has taken Christianity's place as the dominant belief system in the Western world. Where people once placed their faith in religion, many now look to science. And while these two may seem vastly different on the surface, both are deeply rooted in the Logos principle. The Logos principle has many strengths and profoundly positive impact. It facilitates order, fairness, reason and truth. At first glance, the Logos appears to be overwhelmingly positive. However, the Logos also has a shadow side, a set of weaknesses and darker implications. One significant drawback is the suppression and de-evaluation of physicality and emotionality. Historically, this can be seen in events like the witch hunts. Witches symbolize femininity and the connection to earth, qualities tied to the opposing principle, the bios principle. The Logos, in its dominance, rejected these aspects, often with destructive consequences. Another dark aspect of the Logos is its obsession with structures. What begins as a desire for order can escalate into a rigid need for control, where everything must fit into a defined system. This rigidity gives rise to moral and ethical frameworks, dogmas, and laws that may seem logical in theory, but are often unlivable in practice. Such dogmas can become prisons of the mind, limiting our access to our intuition, physicality, and our deeper human connection. The shadow of the Logos is also visible in a tendency to detach from others. When reason dominates, empathy diminishes. We may neglect the pain of those around us, becoming disconnected from the living, from Earth and from nature itself. In summary, the Logos principle represents the ability to differentiate, bring enlightenment and create justice. It has enabled incredible achievements like the rise of society and technology. Yet when the Logos is overemphasized or one-sided, it leads to unreachable theoretical ideals, suppression of emotionality, and a disconnection from our bodies, the living world and nature.